Hello, welcome to yesterday's airlines. In this video, we're going to be taking a quick look around at the new ngmodels 757-300 model sample in 400 scale. As you can see, this sample isn't like the other samples that I have reviewed from NG in that it is actually a finished product. And you may have, in fact, this model on its way to you if you ordered it through the ngmodels.com website and part of their CRP program. I think you get it for a small number of points and get it sent to yourself. But NG have sent me through this one, so I think I've got it before most, and I thought I'd take a quick look around this aircraft, which of course is going to be excellent because NG already have an excellent 757-200. So stay tuned for a quick look around this new mold. And before we get onto that, obviously, make sure that you've chucked a like on the video, subscribed to the channel. Really appreciate that. And check me out at Yes to Airlines and on Instagram. Now, obviously, yesterdaysairlines.com has already got a written review of this very model sample up on it. So get over to yesterdaysairlines.com to check out that and check out the extra pictures associated with that review. But before you do that, and I'll chuck a link in the description of this video. Before you do that, let's get on. Now, of course, NG models, as I've already said, have got a 757-200 mold already, and this 757-300 is going to be based off of that. I own a lot of their Series 200 models. As you can see, this Pacific Air Express example is fairly diagnostic and doesn't have much livery, so helps you to see the mold a little bit better. It's a great looking mold. It's one of my favorites, and it was their first mold that came out right at the beginning of 2018. So there's almost nothing wrong with this 757, and it certainly is substantially better than anything you're going to be getting from a competitor. Obviously, it's seamless, and it's just nicer overall finish on this version, which I really, really like. So you'd expect the Series 300 to be equally good because it is based off of this 200. And lo and behold, here is the Series 300 mold. You can see, as I said, this is made like a completed model, so it's got all the window line cockpit printing already on it. It also comes with aerials as well, which is not something that the samples they send me usually have. So this is very much like a proper model, albeit a blank, which doesn't have any livery on it. Now, one of the other things that's clearly different about this, other than the length, is the fact that it sits on this stand quite comfortably. One of the things that was always unique and slightly annoying about their 757-200 is it has this oddly shaped stand hole, which they never released the stand for. So you can never actually sit these NG 757-200s on a stand, which is a bit annoying. But this 300 comes with a standard shaped stand hole, so you can see it fits on no problem at all. And as you can see, obviously, the main identifier of the 300 is that increased length, which is substantially more than on a 757-200. So you can see the difference in length here, both ahead and behind the wing. So that all looks good to me. Nothing really to report. So we'll just have a quick look around this before we get up onto the turntable. So starting at the beginning of the aircraft, the nose, you can see that's all looking good. Effectively the same as on the Series 200, so nothing really that you'd expect to be wrong here, but with that longer forward fuselage, that all looks nice. And moving to the middle, you can see this version is fitted with the Pratt & Whitney engines. Again, the wings, I believe, are the same as the wings on the Series 200, so it will no doubt come, or models will come without the winglets as well as with them, but this one has the winglets fitted. I do think the shape of the winglets themselves is not perfect, especially at the top. They could be a little bit more pointy, but yeah, it's pretty minor. Moving to the rear of the aircraft, and again, that all looks good. No real issues there. Looks just like you would expect a lengthened version of their existing 200 mold to look. So let's flip her over. And again, there's nothing really unexpected here. It looks exactly as you would imagine it should. NG have already announced 5 models using this mould, which will be out in the next month or so. 4 of those are Condor versions, wearing the existing beach towel-esque scheme, and 1 is in the United Airlines livery in the current United scheme. But obviously there are plenty of other options, both for Condor and United, in other liveries, but then plenty of others as well. Delta is obviously going to be up there, and no doubt a model which is released soon, and there are several Delta liveries that can be made. Obviously for me, being more of a classics collector, I'm more interested in seeing this in Condor's earlier scheme, JMC, Northwest Airlines, Continental, those kind of airlines, American Transair. But overall, there's plenty of material for this 757-300 mould, even though there are only just over 50 or so made. There's plenty of liveries, surprising number actually. And if you're interested in what liveries exist and can be made, then get over to Yesterday's Airlines and check out the wish list, which I have already done and published for this 757-300 mould. Now, let's just get her back onto her stand. There she is. And without further ado, I think that's probably enough looking at the actual sample in detail. We'll get her over and on to the turntable. Okay, so there we have it. Just a quick look around this new ngmodels 757-300 sample. I expect that, this will be arriving on people's doorsteps very soon for those that have ordered it through the CLP program, and obviously for others, then if you get the Condors or United, then they should be out in the next month or so. It has become fairly common nowadays to criticise NG, but they are still making a lot of new material. Maybe not what you want, but they're still putting out quite a lot. And this year alone, they've put out a couple of their new Max molds and the 757-300, and it's only the beginning of April. Obviously, there's plenty more to come with all the molds that I looked at last year, the 767s, the MD-80s, the 747s, A340s, A330 Neos, and so on and so forth. And gradually, I'm sure they'll get there. Just give them some time. But for now, that's this 757-300 mold. Hopefully we'll see some good use of it in the coming months. And that's it from me for now. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Goodbye from Yesterday's Airlines.